This is session 2 about just dealing with situations in our lives, dealing with issues, things that challenge us. And believe you me, I'm challenged all the time as well, especially within human behaviour. Today, I want to use as my example Samson and Delilah. Samson, again, you might have heard of in those wonderful Bible stories we're told when we're children. Samson is and is said to be the strongest man to ever lived. It makes our world's strongest man at the moment look like a complete wimp. And he walked the earth, I believe that, and people were afraid of him. Armies were afraid of him. The Philistines, who are the enemy of God, if you like, enemy of the Israelite people in those days, were scared of him. And he had an incredible strength, and people wanted to know his secret. And so therefore, if you like, they sent someone to get close to him, who was female, called Delilah. And Delilah wanted to trick Samson. And she got to the point where she said, but if you don't love me, you won't love me unless you tell me your secret. And the secret at the end really was that he was born what they call a Nazarite. That's someone who's given unto God and has very, very long hair, unlike me, and a razor's not ever to touch his head. And when he explained this to Delilah, they shaved his head off when he was asleep and took him to put him in a prison, put him to work in the prison, grinding a millstone thing. And the most awful things, they took out his eyes. They literally kind of poked his eyes out. How awful is that to happen? What a scenario you find yourself into just because you fall in love with somebody. But the issue within this is that Samson made the wrong decisions. He made the wrong choices. He decided that, if you like, he knew better than possibly guidance he was being given by God, or guidance he was being given by friends, or the fact that he was told from the day dot, you're a Nazarite and you must never cut your hair, and otherwise you lose your strength. And sadly, in this particular story, it ends for Samson with the fact they take him up into the temple, the king sitting there of the enemy, ridicule him with his counsel and laughing at him. And God, gives him back his strength just for a few moments. His hair's starting to grow back anyway. And they're standing between two pillars, and Samson takes the pillars down, and the whole place crashes down on his enemies, but sadly on Samson himself. And, sometimes our choices lead us to destruction. We have choice in all things, don't we? From the moment that we are of a realization when we're a child of what toy we'd like to play with, or what toy we'd like to buy and have, to, sort of as you grow up and everything, who you want to be friends with, to as you get older, how you want to dress and what music you're into, what fashion you're into, to what job you're going to end up doing. There's a myriad of choices, especially in the Western hemispheres. That's Europe, because we are some of the wealthiest countries in the world. Not all the wealthiest countries, but some of. And here in the United Kingdom, we seem to have an awful lot of choice. Everything from fashion to education to be able to buy goods. And we have a choice within those things. No one forces it upon us, do they? And if they do, that's wrong, and it's something you need to address. But generally speaking, we have an awful lot of choice in our lives. But sometimes the choices we make aren't the best choices. Sometimes we make a bad choice in a relationship. Sometimes we make a bad choice in how we do our finances. Sometimes we make a bad choice in moving into a different area, a different location, and think, what am I doing here? It's those choices that we have. But interestingly enough, a lot of people say to me, well, why does God allow things to happen? And it's because of choice. He gives us choice. He gives us free will. So that therefore we're not automatons or robots, and we can make the decision for ourselves. And so therefore, we are, if you like, the end result of our own choices to a certain degree. And again, I will make very clear and emphasize there are exceptions within these areas, but I'm aware of them. I'm sure you are as well, but I'm again talking generically. So how do I make the right choices? How do I go about making a correct moral decision? How do I, when I get to a crossroads, do I make that right moment, that right choice? For me, not getting too sermonized with you, but for me, it's prayer. Prayer. I pray. and ask for, if you like, the leading of God through what is known as the Holy Spirit to guide me, to help me in the decisions that I make. And believe you me and everything, since I've been doing that, my decision making, I'm sure you'll be pleased to know, has got an awful lot better. And I walk in that way. I seek my God's counsel. I seek the counsel of Jesus Christ. Is it something that could challenge you today? Are you challenged by the choices that you've made? Are you prepared to possibly look at the possibility of making a different kind of choice? Would you be happy to, in your own private time, say to God, God, I need some help here within this. And I need some choices in my help in my life choices, or the direction I'm going, or the decisions I need to make. They're all there for us to tap into if we so wish. Making choices can be very, very difficult, and again, like I was saying yesterday, bring us under that point of pressure. And sometimes we feel like our head's in a drum, and you can just feel the pressure in your head because of the choices that you need to make. And some choices are very, very hard to make, and we know that. But my encouragement today, my challenge today to you is make the right choice. Don't dilly-dally. Make a decision. And if you're unsure, my encouragement to you is, like, if you've never done this before and you're embarrassed, that's fine, no one's going to see you. You go into your kitchen or your bedroom or go for a walk, and in your head say, God, help me. Help me make the right decision today, because I know it's going to affect my life or my children or my work or my housing situation or my financial situation. Help me, please, make the right decision. My prayer for you is today that you do make the right decision, unlike, sadly, Samson.